In late December 2025, Meta quietly closed its third-largest acquisition in history. They bought a 3-year-old startup called Manus.AI for up to $3 billion, putting the deal right behind WhatsApp and Scale AI. The founders, Zhao Hong and Ji Yichao, built a rocket ship. In just 3 years, they took Manus from a simple browser plugin to a $500 million valuation led by Benchmark Capital. Manus bypassed the standard chatbot model. It operated as an autonomous agent. That means it could independently browse websites, write code, and analyze stocks without a human guiding every single step. This chart shows the company's valuation trajectory over those 3 years. By late 2025, they were generating $100 million in annualized recurring revenue, meaning their predictable yearly subscription income, delivering a 100 times return for early investors. By all traditional metrics, they had executed the perfect Silicon Valley exit. Two founders built a massive product, secured top-tier American capital, and sold to an incumbent for billions. But physical geography still dictates reality. 3 months later, in March 2026, Xiao and Ji were summoned back to Beijing. They sat down with officials from the National Development and Reform Commission, China's top economic planning body. The officials delivered a severe directive. Neither founder could travel internationally. The two billionaires were legally trapped inside China. Manus.AI was legally headquartered in Singapore. It was fully owned by Meta, an American corporation. How does a foreign government physically imprison the leadership of a company that technically exists entirely outside its borders? For years, ambitious Chinese tech startups have used Singapore as a geopolitical sanctuary to access Western capital. To avoid scrutiny from U.S. lawmakers, Manus executed a strategy analysts call identity engineering. In mid-2025, they began systematically scrubbing their Chinese origins to make themselves an attractive acquisition target. They moved their headquarters from Beijing to Singapore. They laid off mainland employees, deleted Chinese social accounts, and blocked domestic IP addresses. Then they restructured their cap table, replacing state-linked early investors with prominent Silicon Valley venture capital. By the time Meta made its offer, Manus appeared entirely Western. According to international corporate law, the company had successfully severed its ties to mainland China. But the Chinese government does not view corporate paperwork as the ultimate authority. In March 2024, Beijing updated a major piece of legislation called the Catalog of Prohibited and Restricted Export Technology. They expanded the list to specifically include AI interactive interface technology and personalized information push services. These broad categories perfectly capture the exact autonomous agent capabilities Manus built. The logic here is absolute. Beijing operates on the principle that if artificial intelligence code is written on Chinese soil by Chinese citizens, it becomes a strategic state asset. You can change your headquarters and fire your staff, but a corporate maneuver in Singapore cannot legally override a superpower claiming ownership of its domestic intellectual property. When an overseas acquisition ignores these rules, the dispute quickly moves from corporate boardrooms to airport security checkpoints. The mechanism authorities use is the Exit and Entry Administration Law. This grants the state the blunt power to restrict anyone involved in unsettled legal matters or national security reviews from leaving the country. There is no workable bail system. Individuals receive no prior warning, require absolutely no formal criminal charges, and can be held in legal limbo for over 3 years. Since Beijing cannot legally force Meta to reverse an overseas acquisition, they execute their leverage directly on the human beings who built the code. The Manus investigation has already expanded. Multiple government agencies are now scrutinizing the company's cross-border currency flows, tax accounting, and whether their corporate relocation posed risks to user data. This is a direct retaliation cycle. The U.S. government heavily restricts American investment in Chinese AI and blocks advanced chips from entering the country. Beijing responds with export control domestic tech. This chart illustrates the narrowing capability gap in artificial intelligence. Recent Chinese models like DeepSeek have proven they can match top-tier American technology at a fraction of the computing cost. Under these conditions, the Meta buyout is viewed by the state as a critical leak of embedded national intelligence to a foreign competitor. The commercial fallout is happening right now. enterprise clients are abandoning the Manus platform due to data privacy fears, and analysts predict a sharp decline in Western investors backing cross-border AI startups. A new silicon curtain is dividing global talent, with China now aggressively hoarding nearly half of top-tier AI researchers. At the center of this massive geopolitical divorce are two brilliant young entrepreneurs, currently stranded indefinitely in their home country. The playbook of building an artificial intelligence startup in Beijing and selling it in Silicon Valley is effectively dead. Advanced AI code is now treated exactly like military hardware, a weaponized state asset.